The emergency room smells like antiseptic and fear. My wrist throbs with a pain that makes my vision blur at the edges, but that's nothing compared to the cold knot of dread in my stomach as I watch Marcus pace outside the examination room, his phone pressed to his ear. He's calling his father. Again. "I need you to sign here, Miss Chen." The nurse's voice barely registers. I'm Catherine Chen, Kate to everyone who doesn't read my byline. And 3 hours ago, I was investigating the Moretti family for the Tribune. Now I'm sitting in Northwestern Memorial, with my dominant hand shattered because I asked the wrong questions at the wrong warehouse. The curtain snaps open with such violence that the nurse jumps. The man who enters doesn't walk. He commands space, bending it around himself like gravity around a black hole. 6'3" of controlled fury in a black suit that probably costs more than my car. Dark hair swept back from a face that could have been carved from marble, except marble doesn't have eyes like that. Gray. Storm gray. The kind of gray that comes before lightning strikes. Luca Moretti, Chicago's most dangerous open secret. Behind him, 3 men in identical dark suits form a wall of muscle. The nurse makes a small sound and practically runs from the room. "You have 3 seconds." His voice is accented velvet wrapped around steel. Italian vowels softened by years in America, but still there. Still dangerous. "Who broke your wrist?" I open my mouth. Close it. My brain screams at me to be smart. Be careful, be the investigative journalist who knows when to talk and when to stay silent. But my body is shaking, and my wrist is screaming, and I'm so tired of being scared. "Marcus Delacroix," I whisper. "And his friends. They found out I was writing about the warehouse deals on the South Side. They wanted to know what I'd discovered. When I wouldn't tell them, Marcus grabbed my wrist and twisted until I heard it snap. Luca doesn't move, doesn't blink. But something shifts in the air around him, something that makes my survival instincts shriek warnings. Where? It's not a question. I can't. The words tangle on my tongue. If I tell him, people will die. If I don't, Marcus walks away free to do this again. To someone else. To me. The Lighthouse. That bar in Bucktown with the... I know it. He turns to one of his men. Dante. 10 names. By morning. Sir? Dante melts back through the curtain without another word. Wait. I struggle to stand, but my legs won't cooperate. You can't just... What are you going to do? Those gray eyes fix on me with an intensity that pins me in place more effectively than hands ever could. What do you think I'm going to do, piccola giornalista? A man put his hands on you, hurt you. He doesn't get to wake up tomorrow and feel safe. But I'm no one to you. I'm literally writing an exposé about your family. I've been following you for 6 weeks trying to prove you're running illegal operations out of... I know. The corner of his mouth lifts, but it's not quite a smile. You drive a 2015 Honda Civic with a broken taillight. You take your coffee black with 2 sugars from the shop on Damen. You live alone in a studio on West Armitage. You're allergic to shellfish, and you haven't spoken to your mother in 3 years. The blood drains from my face. You've been watching me. Of course I've been watching you. You're smart, persistent, dangerous. He moves closer, and I catch a scent of expensive cologne and something darker underneath. You're also terrible at counter-surveillance. You think I don't know every source you've contacted, every warehouse you've photographed, every financial record you've illegally accessed? My mouth goes dry. Then why haven't you stopped me? Because you haven't found anything that matters. And because... He pauses, and for the first time, something almost human flickers across his face. Because watching you work is the most interesting thing that's happened to me in 5 years? I should be terrified. I am terrified. But there's something else, too. Something that's been building every time I've caught him watching me from across crowded restaurants, every time our eyes have met through the lens of my camera. Something I've refused to name because naming it would make me the biggest fool in Chicago. I don't understand. No. He reaches out and I flinch involuntarily. His hand stops mid-air, fingers barely an inch from my face. When he speaks again, his voice has gone soft, deadly soft. Who taught you to fear touch, Kate? The use of my first name sends electricity down my spine. Tonight taught me. No, this was already in you. I've seen it. The way you move through crowds, always keeping space. The way you position yourself in corners, back to the wall. Someone hurt you before Marcus. I can't answer. Can't breathe. Because he's right. And I've never told anyone. And how can he possibly see through me so completely? Sir? Another man appears at the curtain. Older, silver-haired. The doctor's asking about admission. She's coming home with me. What? I finally find my voice. Absolutely not. I'm going to my apartment and your apartment has 3 locks and windows that open onto a fire escape. Marcus Delacroix is the youngest son of the Delacroix family. They control most of the heroin trade from Montreal to Detroit. His father will hear what happened tonight. He will assume I was involved. Your apartment will be the first place they look. So, I'll go to a hotel. Which you'll pay for with your credit card, leaving a trail a child could follow. He's not arguing with me. He's simply stating facts, and we both know he's right. You have 2 choices. Catherine, come with me where you'll be protected, or take your chances alone. The way he says my full name makes it sound like a prayer, or a threat. I can't tell which. Why? The question comes out smaller than I intended. Why do you care if something happens to me? He looks at me for a long moment, and I see something move behind those gray eyes, something vast and hungry and carefully contained. Because you're mine to protect now. The words shouldn't send heat through my chest. They shouldn't make me feel anything except angry at the presumption, the arrogance, the sheer audacity of this man who thinks he can claim me like territory. But my traitorous heart stutters anyway. Luca Moretti's home isn't what I expected. No vulgar displays of wealth, no gilded furniture or marble statues. Just a converted brownstone in Lincoln Park with hardwood floors worn smooth by time and windows that let in the gray morning light. The furniture is expensive, but understated. Books line the walls. Real books, not decorative leather spines. Italian literature mixed with American classics, philosophy texts next to noir fiction. Your room is upstairs, second door on the left. He shrugs off his jacket, and I catch a glimpse of shoulder holster. Dark metal, controlled violence. There are clothes in the dresser. They should fit. Should I ask why you have women's clothes in your guest room? My sister visits. He moves to a bar cart, pours 2 fingers of something amber. And before you make assumptions, no other woman has stayed here. You're the first. I don't know what to do with that information. Don't know what to do with any of this. My wrist is in a temporary cast, pumped full of painkillers that make the world feel wrapped in cotton. I should call my editor, should call someone. But my phone is somewhere back at the emergency room, and I'm standing in a Mafia boss's living room at 4 a.m, and nothing makes sense anymore. Why did you really bring me here? I ask. The truth this time. He downs the drink in one smooth motion. Marcus Delacroix has hurt 6 women in the last 2 years. All journalists, all asking questions about his family's operations. None of them reported it. They were too scared, too smart. They knew what happens when you make an enemy of that family. But I reported it. To you. Yes. He sets the glass down with careful precision. You looked me in the eye and told me exactly who hurt you, knowing what I am, knowing what I'd do. That was either very brave or very stupid. Maybe both. Definitely both. Now he does smile, and it transforms his face. Makes him look younger. Almost human. You're also the only person in 5 years who's managed to get close to evidence of what my family actually does. That takes skill, intelligence, recklessness. Is this the part where you threaten me? Tell me to back off or else. No. He moves closer, and I should back away, but I don't. Can't. This is the part where I tell you that Marcus Delacroix and his associates will be handled. Permanently. And you will never write that article about my family. You can't stop me. I can. His hand comes up again, and this time I let it. Let him trace the curve of my jaw with fingers that should feel threatening, but somehow don't. But I won't. Instead, I'm going to show you what we really do. The real business, not the fantasy you've constructed in your journalist's mind. And when you see the truth, you'll decide for yourself whether to write it. I should say no, should laugh in his face, should do literally anything except stand here letting a mob boss touch me like I'm something precious. And if I still want to write it, then I'll respect your decision. His thumb brushes my lower lip, and my breath catches. But I don't think you will. I think you're about to discover that everything you believe about my family is wrong. Why would you take that risk? Because I'm tired of being alone. The words come out raw, unguarded. Because in 6 weeks of watching you, I've seen more life, more passion, more genuine humanity than I've experienced in a decade. Because when I saw you in that emergency room, with your wrist shattered and tears in your eyes, something in me broke too. My heart is pounding so hard I'm sure he can hear it. Luca! Sleep, Piccola. We'll talk when the sun's up. He steps back, putting careful distance between us. There's water and painkillers on the nightstand. If you need anything, I'm downstairs. Will you... I hate how small my voice sounds. Will you really make them disappear? All 10 men? His face goes cold again, emotion shuddering away behind that marble mask. Yes. Good. The word surprises us both. But I mean it. God help me, I mean it. They deserve it. Something flickers in his eyes. Approval. Heat. Recognition. Sleep, Kate. You're safe here. I promise you that. I make it halfway up the stairs before his voice stops me. Kate? I turn. The man who hurt you before Marcus. The one who taught you to fear touch. Give me his name, and he'll disappear too. I should refuse. Should hold on to that secret like I've held it for 8 years. But standing here in the gray pre-dawn light, looking at a man who's promising to commit murder on my behalf without even being asked, the words slip out before I can stop them. Detective James Morrison, Chicago PD. He was my mother's boyfriend when I was 17. Luca's expression doesn't change, but I see his hands curl into fists at his sides. Consider it done. I continue up the stairs, and I don't feel guilty. I feel powerful. For the first time in 8 years, I feel powerful. I wake to sun streaming through unfamiliar windows and the smell of coffee. My wrist is a dull throb that the painkillers have reduced to background noise. For a moment, I forget where I am. Then memory crashes back. Marcus, the hospital, Luca's gray eyes promising violence on my behalf. The clothes in the dresser fit perfectly. Jeans, soft sweaters, underwear still in packaging. His sisters, he said. I wonder if that's true, or if he bought these specifically for me, somehow knowing I'd end up here. I don't want to examine that thought too closely. Downstairs, Luca sits at a kitchen island with a laptop, wearing reading glasses that make him look professorial. Human. There's coffee in a French press and fresh pastries still warm from whatever bakery he's clearly had delivered. Sleep well? He doesn't look up from the screen. Better than I should have. I pour coffee, notice my hands aren't shaking anymore. How's your morning been? Productive. Now he does look at me, removing the glasses. Marcus Delacroix and 9 of his associates were reported missing around 6 a.m. The police are investigating. They'll find nothing. My stomach should turn, should revolt at the casual discussion of mass murder. Instead, I feel satisfaction, dark and warm. And Detective Morrison? He'll be found in his apartment next week. Heart attack. Very tragic. Very believable. Luca stands, moves to the coffee. He won't be the first cop to die from the stress of the job. You're not even trying to hide what you are. No, I told you. I'm going to show you the truth. Starting now. He pulls out his phone, types something. My car will take you to your apartment for fresh clothes, then to the Tribune offices. You'll quit your job. Excuse me? You're an investigative journalist with access to resources I don't have. Legitimate resources. Legal resources. I need someone like you, and you need protection I can provide. So you'll quit the Tribune and come work for me. Doing what exactly? He smiles, and it's predatory. Investigating everyone else. My family has enemies, Kate. People who hurt children, traffic women, flood neighborhoods with poison. People who make Marcus Delacroix look like a saint. You help me find them, I help you destroy them. Legally or otherwise. I should refuse. Should tell him he's insane. But my mind is already racing ahead, seeing the possibilities. The stories I could expose. The people I could help. All with the resources and protection of the Moretti family behind me. That's vigilante justice. No, that's journalism with teeth. He's closer now, close enough that I can see gold flecks in those gray eyes. You've spent your career writing articles that change nothing. How many of your exposés led to actual arrests? Actual justice? You shine light on darkness, and the darkness just moves to a new shadow. And what you're offering is different? I'm offering permanent darkness for the monsters, permanent safety for their victims. No more catch and release, no more plea bargains and lenient sentences. His hand comes up, cups my cheek. I'm offering you the thing every journalist dreams of, the power to actually fix what you investigate. By becoming a criminal myself. By becoming my partner. The word hangs between us, laden with meanings neither of us is quite willing to examine. I need time to think. Take all day. He releases me, steps back. But tonight I'm taking you to dinner. A real date, not a business proposition. Somewhere public where you can walk away any time you want. Then you decide. Luca, I broke all my rules for you. The raw honesty in his voice stops me cold. I don't bring people to my home. I don't trust. I don't want. But then there was this fearless woman with fire in her eyes, chasing stories that could get her killed, and I couldn't look away. Won't look away. Not now. My breath catches. You barely know me. I know you take your coffee black with 2 sugars. I know you whisper to yourself when you're working through a problem. I know you cry at dog videos, but don't flinch at crime scene photos. I know you've spent 8 years building walls around yourself, and I want to be the one you let in. Why? It's barely a whisper. Because I've been alone in a crowd my entire life, and when I look at you, I don't feel alone anymore. I should run, should walk out this door and never look back. But I'm tired of running, tired of being scared, tired of writing articles that change nothing while monsters like Marcus Delacroix and James Morrison walk free. One date, I hear myself say, and I want to see everything. The real operations, the real books, the truth about what your family does. No sanitized version. Done. His smile is triumphant. But be warned, Piccola. Once you see the truth, you'll never be able to walk away. Not from this. Not from me. Arrogant. Accurate. He picks up his phone. My driver will take you home. Be ready at 8. I make it to the door before I turn back. Luca, those women Marcus hurt, the ones who were too scared to report it, will you make sure they know he's gone? Something soft crosses his face. Already done. They each received anonymous notification this morning, along with the names of therapists who specialize in trauma recovery, paid in full. And just like that, I'm done for. The restaurant is called Alinea, 3 Michelin stars and a 6-month wait list. Luca walks me in like he owns the place, which, knowing him, he probably does. We're seated at a private table in the corner, and the maitre d' treats us like royalty. I've dressed carefully. Black dress, simple but elegant. My wrist is in a proper cast now, bright white against dark fabric. a reminder of why I'm here. Why I'm sitting across from a man who makes people disappear. You look beautiful, Luca says, and means it. You look dangerous, I reply, and mean it too. He laughs, real and unguarded. I am dangerous, but not to you. Never to you. The meal is exquisite, 18 courses of molecular gastronomy that feel more like edible art. Between courses, Luca talks. Really talks. About growing up in Sicily, about his father's death when he was 19, about inheriting an empire he never wanted but learned to control. People think we're criminals, he says over the 10th course, and they're not completely wrong, but we're also the only reason half the neighborhoods in Chicago aren't run by cartels. We're the middle management between chaos and order. That's convenient justification. It's reality. He leans forward. You want truth? Here's truth. My family controls gambling, loan sharking, and construction. We don't touch drugs, don't traffic people, don't hurt innocents. When someone violates those rules, they answer to me. Permanently. Like Marcus. Like Marcus. His eyes hold mine. He broke our code when he hurt those women. He'd have been dealt with eventually. You just accelerated the timeline. I process this. So you're saying you're the lesser evil? I'm saying I'm the evil that keeps worse evils in check. And I'm offering you a chance to help me identify which evils need checking. The waiter brings champagne, expensive and cold. Luca raises his glass. 2 unlikely partnerships. I touch my glass to his. To truth in journalism. To beautiful women who chase monsters. To dangerous men who kill them. We drink, and the moment feels significant. A line crossed, a choice made, even if I haven't admitted it yet. After dinner, he doesn't take me home. Instead, we drive to the south side, to a neighborhood I've photographed, but never truly seen. The car stops outside a community center that's blazing with light and life despite the late hour. What is this? The truth. He opens my door, helps me out. Come on. Inside, the building is filled with people. Kids doing homework in a computer lab. Adults in ESL classes. A gym where teenagers play basketball with supervision from men I recognize from Luca's security detail. This is what we really do, Luca says quietly. This is where the money goes. After-school programs, job training, small business loans. We keep neighborhoods safe, not by ruling through fear, but by giving people alternatives to gangs and drugs. I stare at him. This is funded by the Moretti family. By me, specifically. 10 centers like this across Chicago, all operating legally, all changing lives. He shows me into an office where walls are covered with photos, kids graduating high school, small businesses opening, families smiling. This is what your articles would have destroyed if you'd published them. Not my illegal operations. This. I sink into a chair, mind reeling. But the warehouses? The financial irregularities I tracked? Are mostly legitimate construction deals with some creative accounting to fund these programs. He sits across from me. We do illegal things, Kate. I won't lie about that. But the money goes here. Goes to people the system forgot. You should tell people this. Show them. And watch every rival family in America try to destroy it. Watch the IRS audit every penny until they find something to shut us down. He shakes his head. Some truth has to stay hidden to survive. I look at the photos again. See genuine smiles. Real hope. How do I know this isn't just for show? That you didn't stage all this tonight? You don't. He pulls out his phone, hands it to me. But here are the financial records for the past 5 years. Every dollar accounted for. Take them. Investigate. Verify. Then tell me if you still want to publish your article. I take the phone, scroll through documents that look legitimate. More than legitimate. They look meticulously maintained. Every transaction documented, every expense justified. This could be your redemption story, I say slowly. The mob boss who went legitimate. It could be, but I don't want redemption. I want effectiveness. He retrieves his phone, I want to do more of this, expand to other cities, actually make a difference. And I can't do that if I'm legitimate. The regulations alone would strangle these programs before they started. So I stay in the shadows and let people like you shine light where it matters. And in exchange, you want me to what? Be your private investigator? Your pet journalist? I want you to be my partner. He says it simply, like it's obvious. Equal voice, equal decision-making. You investigate threats, I neutralize them. You find organizations worth supporting, I fund them. Together. It's insane, impossible. Everything I've worked for says to walk away, expose this, bring him down. But looking at those photos, thinking of those 6 women Marcus hurt, remembering Detective Morrison's face when I was 17 and helpless. If I do this, I say slowly, I have conditions. Name them. No one gets hurt unless I agree they deserve it. Full transparency on operations. And I keep my ethics. If I find something you're doing that's genuinely wrong, I walk away and publish everything. He considers this. Agreed, with one addition. What? He stands, moves around the desk, and pulls me gently to my feet. His hands frame my face, thumbs stroking my cheeks. You give this a real chance. Not just the partnership. Us. Luca. I've been alone my whole life, Kate. Even surrounded by family, by soldiers, by people who'd die for me. I've been alone. Then you appeared with your camera, and your questions, and your absolute refusal to be afraid. And suddenly I wasn't alone anymore. Even before we spoke, I felt it, knew it. That's not how it works. You can't just decide. I'm not deciding for you. I'm asking. His forehead touches mine. Give me a chance to prove I can be what you need. That this, he gestures around us, can be real, lasting, true. My heart is pounding. You're a mob boss. I'm a man who's falling for a journalist. His smile is crooked, vulnerable. Seems like we're both breaking our own rules. This is crazy. Completely crazy. He pulls back just enough to look at me. Say yes anyway. I should say no. Should walk out. Should... His lips brush mine, soft and questioning. Nothing demanding, nothing taking. Just asking, the same way his words asked. Offering me the choice he's promising to always offer. I kiss him back. It starts gentle, almost chaste, but then his hands slide into my hair and mine clutch his jacket, and suddenly we're not gentle at all. We're desperate, hungry, 8 weeks of watching and wanting finally given permission to exist. When we break apart, we're both breathing hard. Yes, I whisper, but I'm terrified. Me too. He kisses my forehead, my cheek, the corner of my mouth. Me too, Piccola, but we'll be terrified together. 3 months later, I'm sitting in Luca's office, our office now, reviewing financial records of a shipping company that's been flagged for human trafficking. My article draft is open on another screen, ready to send to my contact at the FBI once Luca's people can confirm the victims' locations. We work differently now. I investigate, he acts. I write articles that don't mention the Moretti family's involvement. And he makes sure the bad guys face consequences, whether the legal system catches them or not. It shouldn't work. By every moral standard I was raised with, this partnership should be wrong. But in 3 months, we've taken down 2 trafficking rings, exposed 5 corrupt politicians, and shut down a pharmaceutical company that was cutting chemotherapy drugs with saline. We've saved lives, plural, measurable, and we've fallen completely, irrevocably in love. Kate, Luca's voice interrupts my thoughts. He's standing in the doorway, and he looks different, nervous. Can you come with me for a minute? I follow him upstairs to the rooftop terrace I didn't even know his building had. Chicago spreads out beneath us, lights glittering against darkness. Beautiful and dangerous, just like everything else in my life now. I need to tell you something, he says, taking my hands. And I need you to know I understand if your answer is no. My heart starts pounding. Luca! I know we've only been together 3 months. I know this is fast. I know you're still adjusting to this life, to us, to everything. He takes a breath. But I've never been more certain of anything. You're my partner, my equal, the person who makes me want to be better than I am. And I don't want to spend another day not married to you. He drops to one knee, and my breath stops. Catherine Elizabeth Chen, will you marry me? The ring is perfect, simple, elegant, not showy. Exactly what I would have chosen. Because he knows me. Really knows me. I'm still writing that exposé about organized crime, I say, and my voice is shaking. Just not about your family. About everyone else. I know. And if you ever cross my ethical lines, you'll walk away. I know. He smiles. And I'll spend the rest of my life making sure you never have to. This is insane. Completely insane. He's still kneeling, still holding the ring. Say yes, anyway. I think about the girl I was 3 months ago. Scared, alone, breaking under Marcus's hands. I think about the woman I'm becoming. Strong, protected, making real differences. I think about Luca promising violence on my behalf and delivering safety instead. About community centers and saved lives and partnerships that shouldn't work but do. Yes, I whisper. Yes, you arrogant, dangerous, impossible man. I'll marry you. He slides the ring on my finger, my left hand, because my right wrist is still in a brace. Then he's standing and kissing me like I'm air, and he's drowning, and Chicago glitters around us like it's celebrating too. I love you, he says against my lips. My fierce, brilliant, terrifying journalist. I love you too, I admit. My protective, ruthless, surprisingly good man. Good? He laughs. Piccola, I'm a monster. Maybe. I kiss him again. But you're my monster now. Below us, the city continues its complicated dance of light and shadow, good and evil, legal and not. And somewhere in the middle, we've carved out a space that's entirely our own, where justice wears a gray suit, and truth comes with a body count, and love grows in the most unlikely soil. 3 months ago, Marcus Delacroix broke my wrist and thought he'd broken me. Instead, he led me straight to the man who'd spend the rest of his life making sure no one ever broke me again. Somewhere in the Chicago night, 10 men are missing. 10 men who hurt women and thought they'd get away with it. I should feel guilty. I feel victorious instead. And as Luca pulls me close, promising forever with every touch, I finally understand what it means to be both saved and dangerous at the same time. The reporter in me knows this story shouldn't have a happy ending. But the woman I'm becoming? She's going to take her happy ending and dare anyone to take it away. But neither of us could have predicted that our happiness would paint a target on our backs visible from across 3 state lines. The call comes at 2 a.m, 6 weeks after Luca put that ring on my finger. I'm deep in sleep, dreaming of white dresses and vows when his phone shatters the silence. He's awake instantly, that terrifying transformation from man to predator happening in the space between heartbeats. When? His voice is ice. Pure, lethal ice. How many? I sit up suddenly, completely awake. Something in his tone makes my blood run cold. Get everyone to the safe house, now. He's already moving, pulling on clothes, checking his weapon with practiced efficiency. And Dante, find out who talked. What's happening? My voice sounds small in the darkness. He stops, and when he looks at me, I see something I've never seen before in Luca Moretti's eyes. Fear. The Delacroix family knows about us. About you. He crosses to me, takes my face in his hands. Marcel Delacroix, Marcus's father, just put a $3 million bounty on your head. Open contract. Every hitman, every desperate criminal, every person who needs money badly enough is going to come for you. The words don't make sense. Can't make sense. But Marcus has been gone for months. Why now? Because someone told Marcel that I'm the one who had his son killed, and that I did it for you. His jaw clenches. They sent proof, photos of us. Your name, your address, your entire life story. Marcel is old-school Sicilian. Family is everything. He won't rest until you're dead and I'm destroyed. I'm shaking. Can't stop shaking. How did they find out? That's what Dante's going to discover. He releases me, starts throwing clothes at me. Get dressed. We have maybe 15 minutes before the first wave arrives. Professional hitters will take longer to mobilize, but street-level criminals who know this neighborhood? They're already coming. I dress with fumbling fingers, my cast making everything harder. 6 weeks ago, I was an ordinary journalist. Now I have a $3 million price on my head and a mob boss fiancé who's checking ammunition like he's preparing for war. Because he is preparing for war. Luca, I grab his arm. Just give me to them. Tell Marcel I seduced you, that I manipulated you into killing Marcus. He'll believe that easier than the truth. Not a chance in hell. $3 million. Every criminal in Chicago. Could offer $3 billion, and I still wouldn't give you up. He pulls me close, fierce and possessive. You're mine, Kate. Mine to protect. Mine to keep safe. Mine to love. And I will burn this entire city down before I let anyone take you from me. That's not rational. Love isn't rational. It's absolute. He kisses me hard, desperate. Now move. We're going to the panic room until my people can secure the building. The panic room is behind a false wall in his bedroom closet, steel reinforced and stocked with supplies. He pushes me inside, and I expect him to follow. Instead, he stays in the doorway. Luca, what are you doing? Someone has to hold them off until reinforcements arrive. He's checking his weapon again, face carved from stone. You'll be safe here. The door only opens from the inside. No matter what you hear, don't open it until Dante gives you the all-clear code. Understood? No, absolutely not. You're not going out there alone. I'm not alone. My men are already in position. But his eyes tell a different story. Tell me he's not sure how many of his men he can trust anymore. Tell me someone close betrayed us, and he doesn't know who. Kate, I need you to promise me, no matter what happens, no matter what you hear, you stay locked in here. I can't lose you, the words rip out of me. Not now. Not after everything. You won't. He cups my face, and his hands are gentle despite the violence humming through him. I've survived 20 years in this life. I'm not dying tonight. But I need to know you're safe so I can focus on eliminating the threat. Luca, promise me, Piccola, please. The please breaks me. Luca Moretti doesn't beg, doesn't ask, commands, demands, takes. But he's asking me now, and I can see what it costs him. I promise. The words taste like ash. But you better come back to me. Always. One more kiss, bruising and brief. Then he's gone. And the steel door swings shut with a finality that makes my heart stop. For 3 minutes, there's silence. I count my heartbeats, count my breaths, try to stop my hands from shaking. Then I hear it. Gunfire. Not the single shots of movies, but rapid bursts that shake the walls. Men shouting, glass breaking. The organized chaos of a firefight happening too close, too real, too immediate. I press my hands over my ears, but it doesn't help. Every shot could be the one that finds Luca. Every crash could be him falling. Every second of silence could be the moment I become a widow before I'm even a bride. Then I hear his voice, clear and commanding even through the steel door. 4th floor clear. Dante, status on the roof access? Secured, sir. 3 hostiles down, 2 in custody. Put them in the basement. I want to know who sent them before sunrise. A pause. And find out who leaked Kate's location. Someone in our inner circle sold us out. Relief floods through me so powerfully I have to sit down. He's alive. He's okay. He's in control. But the gunfire hasn't stopped. If anything, it's intensifying. Sir, we've got more incoming. East stairwell, at least 6. That's a voice I don't recognize. Young. Scared. They've got automatic weapons. Fall back to the 2nd floor choke point. Let them come to us. Luca's voice is steady, tactical. And someone get Marco on the phone. I need every soldier we have here in the next 10 minutes. More gunfire. Closer now. I can hear individual shots, can distinguish the different weapons, can hear men screaming. I pull out my phone with shaking hands. No signal in the panic room. Of course there isn't. But I can still access the files stored locally, can still work, still investigate, still be useful. If someone betrayed us, there will be evidence. Money transfers, communications, something. I just have to find it. I pull up the financial records I've been maintaining, start cross-referencing against Luca's organizational charts. Every person with access to our location. Every person who knew about our relationship. Every person who could have told Marcel Delacroix exactly where to send his hired killers. The gunfire continues, a soundtrack to my desperate search through data. Then I see it. A payment from an offshore account to someone named Thomas Ricci. $500,000 transferred the same day I got my engagement ring. Thomas Ricci, I pull up the organizational chart, is Dante's younger brother. Part of Luca's inner security team. My blood runs cold. Dante is out there right now, supposedly helping Luca. But if his brother sold us out, if Dante is in on it, I'm at the door before I can think it through. My promise to Luca wars with the terror of what might be happening outside. What if this whole thing is a setup? What if Dante is leading Luca into a trap right now, while I hide in here like a coward? No matter what you hear, Luca said. But he didn't know one of his most trusted men might be a traitor. My hand hovers over the release mechanism. Once I open this door, I can't close it again from the outside. I'll be vulnerable. Exposed. Exactly what Luca was trying to prevent. But if I don't open it, he might die, never knowing the threat was inside his own organization. The gunfire stops. Sudden, complete silence that's somehow worse than the noise. All clear, boss. That's Dante's voice, calm and professional. Building is secure. Should I give Miss Chen the all clear? Not yet. Luca sounds exhausted. I want this entire place swept twice more, and bring me those 2 survivors. I have questions. About that, sir. Dante's voice changes, goes flat. I don't think they're going to be answering questions. What the hell does that mean? It means they're both dead. Someone got to them in the basement before we could secure them. Single shots to the head. Professional. The silence that follows is deafening. Dante. Luca's voice has gone soft, deadly soft. Why would someone kill our only sources of information? I don't know, sir, but I'm going to find out. He's lying. I can hear it even through the door. Dante is lying, and Luca is seconds away from walking into whatever trap has been set. I hit the release mechanism. The door swings open and I stumble out into Luca's bedroom. It's destroyed. Bullet holes in the walls, shattered glass everywhere, the smell of gunpowder thick in the air. I can hear voices downstairs, can hear Luca and Dante still talking. I run. Down the hallway, my footsteps loud on hardwood. Down the stairs, not caring about stealth, only caring about getting to Luca before it's too late. I burst into the living room and freeze. Luca is standing in the center of the room, weapon lowered. Dante is behind him, gun raised, pointed directly at Luca's head. Kate, get back upstairs. Luca's voice is steady, but his eyes are locked on mine with desperate intensity. Now! I can't do that. I force the words out. Dante, your brother Thomas received $500,000 from an offshore account the day Luca proposed to me. He's the one who sold us out to Marcel Delacroix, which means you either knew and helped him, or you're about to make the biggest mistake of your life. Dante's gun doesn't waver. You've been busy, reporter. She's good at her job. Luca still hasn't moved. Question is, are you going to finish yours? Or are you going to explain why your loyalty suddenly has a price tag? It's not about money, Dante's voice cracks. My brother is dead because of you. Thomas didn't betray you. The Delacroix family killed him to send a message. They took everything from him because of what you did to Marcus. So yes, I told them where to find you, told them about Kate, told them exactly how to hurt you the way you hurt us. Thomas was trafficking girls through the port. Luca's voice is gentle, almost kind. Underage girls, Dante. He was using our shipping operations to move children. I gave him a choice: disappear and never come back, or face what happens to predators. He chose to run. I let him. The Delacroix family killed him for their own reasons. You're lying. I have the evidence in my office: security footage, financial records, testimony from the girls he hurt. Your brother was a monster, Dante. And I protected you from having to know that because you're a good man. Or at least, you were. Dante's hand shakes. He was my brother. He was a predator. Luca takes a slow step forward. And you know me well enough to know I don't lie. Not about this. Never about this. Sir. Another voice from the doorway. Marco, silver-haired and steady. He's pointing a gun at Dante. Lower your weapon. Let's talk about this. But Dante's face is crumbling, realization hitting him like a physical blow. Oh God, what have I done? You made a mistake. Luca takes another step, based on bad information and legitimate grief. But Kate is innocent. Whatever sins I've committed, she doesn't deserve to pay for them. So lower your weapon, and we'll figure this out together. $3 million. Dante's laugh is broken. Every criminal in Chicago is coming for her because I believed a lie. Because I wanted revenge so badly, I didn't ask questions. I've killed her. No. I step forward even though Marco makes a warning sound. I'm standing right here. Still alive. Still safe. Because Luca protected me. And because we found out the truth in time. You made a mistake, Dante. A terrible mistake. But it's not too late to fix it. How? He's crying now, gun still raised but his whole body shaking. How do I fix putting a bounty on an innocent woman? Luca moves faster than I can track, disarming Dante in a motion so smooth it looks choreographed. The gun clatters to the floor, and Dante collapses with it, shoulders heaving with sobs. You help me protect her. Luca stands over him, not threatening, just present. You use your contacts to spread the word that the bounty is withdrawn, that Marcel Delacroix was working on false information. You help me find every hitman who's already on their way, and you help me convince them to stand down. And then what? You kill me for betraying you? Then you live with what you did. Luca crouches down to Dante's level. You wake up every day knowing you almost got an innocent woman killed. You work for the rest of your life to make sure nothing like this ever happens again. That's your punishment, Dante. Not death. Conscience. Marco clears his throat. Boss, we have a bigger problem. The bounty is already out there. Even if Dante recants, there are going to be people who don't get the message. People who take the contract anyway. Then we go public. I hear myself say it before I've fully thought it through. We tell the truth. All of it. Luca turns to me. Kate, no, listen. Marcel Delacroix put a bounty on me because he thinks I'm some mistress you killed his son for. But what if everyone knew the truth? That Marcus Delacroix was a serial abuser who hurt at least 6 women. That he broke my wrist when I was investigating his family's crimes. That your response was justice, not jealousy. You're talking about exposing everything, your identity as a journalist, my operations, all of it. I'm talking about controlling the narrative before it controls us. I move to stand beside him. I'm talking about going on record with the Tribune, with every major news outlet, and telling them exactly who I am, who you are, and why Marcus Delacroix deserved what he got. Let the public decide if I'm worth $3 million. They'll come after you anyway. Criminals don't care about public opinion. No, but they care about heat. You make this story big enough, loud enough, and suddenly killing me isn't just murder. It's attacking someone under international spotlight. Every cop in America will be looking for whoever takes that contract. The risk stops being worth the reward. Lucas stares at me for a long moment. You're willing to destroy your credibility as a journalist, expose our relationship, admit to working with organized crime, everything you've built. I'm willing to build something new. I take his hand, together, openly. No more shadows. You want to expand those community centers to other cities. We do it publicly, through a legitimate foundation. You want to stop trafficking rings and corrupt politicians? We do it through journalism backed by resources you provide legally. We go completely legitimate, Luca. Starting now. Starting with this. The other families will never allow it. The other families are terrified of you anyway. You're the youngest Don in Chicago, the one who's been slowly absorbing their territories for 5 years. You think they're going to move against you when you have the protection of public sympathy? I squeeze his hand. We tell this story right, and you become the mobster who went straight for love, the dangerous man who chose a different path. It's redemption and romance and drama all in one. The media will eat it up. Marco coughs. She's not wrong, boss. Public pressure could work in our favor, and if we're going legitimate anyway. We weren't going legitimate. Luca's voice is strained. We are now. I meet his eyes, because I'm not spending the rest of my life looking over my shoulder. I'm not raising our children in this world of secrets and violence, and I'm not watching you slowly destroy yourself trying to be both monster and man. So, we choose. Right now. We go public, go legitimate, or I walk away and take my chances alone. The ultimatum hangs between us. Around us I can hear the house settling, broken glass crunching under Marco's feet, Dante's ragged breathing, the whole world holding its breath. You would really walk away? Luca asks quietly. No. The honesty rips out of me, but I need you to choose me over this life. Really choose me. Not just protect me, but build something new with me. Something clean. His hand comes up to cut my face, and I see the moment he decides. See the exact second Luca Moretti, Don of the Moretti crime family, becomes just Luca. Just a man in love. Okay. The word is simple, final. We go public, we go legitimate, we do this your way. Our way, I correct. Our way. He pulls me close, and I can feel his heart pounding against my chest. God help anyone who tries to stop us. Marco holsters his weapon. I'll start making calls. Get ahead of the story. And boss. For what it's worth, I think she's right. It's time. Dante is still on the floor, looking between us with red-rimmed eyes. I'll help, however I can. I'll spend the rest of my life making this right. Start by calling every contact you have in the Delacroix organization. Tell them the bounty is based on false information. Tell them Luca Moretti is going to tell his side of the story, and they better be ready for the fallout. Luca's voice is all business now. Then get Thomas's files from my office. Read them. Really read them. Know what your brother was before you mourn who you thought he was. Dante nods, climbs slowly to his feet. He looks a decade older than he did an hour ago. Sir, I'm sorry for everything. I know. Luca's voice softens fractionally. Now get to work. We have about 6 hours before news cycles start, and I want our statement ready. The next hours are chaos, phone calls and press releases and lawyers arguing over every word. I sit at Luca's desk, our desk, and write the truth. All of it. Marcus Delacroix's crimes, documented and verified. Luca's response, framed not as mob violence, but as protective justice. Our relationship, presented as an unlikely partnership that became something more. By sunrise, it's ready. By noon, it's everywhere. Former Tribune investigative journalist reveals romance with alleged mob boss, claims life threatened over exposing serial abuser. The headlines write themselves. We do interviews, carefully controlled, legally vetted. I show my medical records from the night Marcus broke my wrist. Luca shows financial statements for his community centers. We present ourselves not as criminals, but as two people trying to do good in complicated circumstances. The public response is mixed, but enough people side with us that the bounty becomes radioactive. Marcel Delacroix withdraws it within 48 hours, released a statement claiming misunderstanding and misinformation. He doesn't apologize, but he backs down. And just like that, we're free. Not safe. We'll never be completely safe. But free enough to breathe. Free enough to plan a future. 3 weeks later, we're married. Not in some secret ceremony, but in a small chapel in Lincoln Park with 200 witnesses and enough security to guard a president. I wear white. Luca wears gray, the color of his eyes, the color of the moral space we've chosen to occupy. You may kiss the bride. He does, and the crowd cheers, journalists and mobsters, cops and criminals, all the impossible people who've become our impossible family. I love you, Mrs. Moretti, he whispers against my lips. I love you too, I whisper back. My impossible, wonderful, completely legitimate husband. He laughs, really laughs. And in that moment, I know we've won. Not against Marcel Delacroix. Not against the bounty, or the betrayal, or the violence. Against the idea that people like us can't change, can't choose differently. Can't build something good from complicated beginnings. We're proof that even the darkest stories can have their happy endings, if you're brave enough to write your own.